Okay, y'all, the season is changing, so that means my makeup routine changing. I'm always sweating around this time. So the primer that's going to do it for me is one side. So first, no matter what, I'm always going to moisturize my skin underneath those primers. I use the Secure the Sweat. Then I use the Secure the Blur by One Size. And baby, like I honestly feel like my dark spots was like less appearing after I used the blur. But anyways, I still want that full coverage look. So I went in with my One Size full coverage foundation. And when I say full coverage, I mean it. I applied my foundation with the Morphe M106 foundation. I just love the way it blends out my foundation so evenly. Then I blended out my concealer using my M130 brush. Then for a lighter under eye, I used my Born This Way in the shade Sand. Now, I'm not a genius when it comes to makeup, but I have overcome my creasing under eye. And that's the first step to a flawless base, so I'm sharing it with y'all. First, when you do skin, don't be afraid to get underneath your eye. Moisturize it really good. Second, don't put foundation under your eye. Third, don't place concealer under your eye, at least not right away. Place your concealer on the side of your nose, an inch away from underneath your eye. Let it sit for a little. Take your time, blend it out in place first. Whatever little bit you have left on your brush, bring it up to your eye. Then blend some more. Then I take a puff, lightly sprayed with my Charlotte Tilbury spray, and lightly tap underneath my eye and let it dry. Then I use my One Size Turn Up the Base foundation powder. Next, I fully sprayed my face with the Charlotte Tilbury spray. And baby, the results were speaking for itself. Then I went in with my mini One Size Until Dawn setting spray. Girl, because my makeup cannot be sliding. Then I finished off with my Beauty Bay gloss, and voila.